And now the discussion of three friends talking about a show returning after years off the air by Netflix. It's Resisting Boredom's Arrested Development. Season 4 discussion.
I'm Brandon Kaiser.
I'm Kid Coleman Cole.
Josh Justin.
And so Arrested Development just came on Netflix, right?
Season 4.
Season 4, sorry, let me clarify that. Season 4 of Arrested Development just came out on Netflix about a week ago. And we've all seen it all at this point.
Yeah, at this point,
Some of us did it right away, some of us took a week, whatever. But
don't judge.
We'll talk about that as we discuss it. So that's what we're going to talk about now. Take it away, Josh.
All right.
Visual gag.
So, I watched it. I enjoyed it. The end.
All right.
Come
okay.
on, you don't have anything more to say. Like, honestly,
Well, it was different.
Shorter videos do better on YouTube.
No, it was
yeah, that was a great video. Oh, no.
It was totally different, but along the same lines of the last, the previous season. They mix it up. They did a kind of a different narrative structure, which I thought was pretty clever. The giving, I know not a lot of people agree with the giving each person their own unique story. I guess you don't. But I thought the way that they did it through series of events, but from different perspectives, and how you got to see different events from different characters. I thought that was
you can see background events, so that were actually other characters.
And I kind of thought, because they always joked about a movie, that maybe this format may have worked a little bit better in a movie, where you get or maybe not. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Hard to say.
Just the way they had every character and the same events and how everything's chained together. I thought that was interesting, and I really liked the way they did that. I didn't really have a problem with the multiple characters, which apparently Brandon does, but I thought maybe...
I did.
You did too?
I had a problem too.
Oh, well, I guess I'm all... Well, I know I'm not the alone. I can just go to the internet and find people that agree with me.
I felt it was
so
too
can
much.
That's what the internet's for.
It was too much of individual characters. Like, you had a whole Tobias episode, whole Job episodes, and honestly, it was nice to have them tossed in an episode. I talked to Brian about this.
We did kind of talk about this.
Where it was like you need an even dose.
And I hadn't seen that much of it then.
Yeah. Then you need an even dose of them instead of just it's like all Tobias's characters.
Mm-hmm.
Tobias isn't going to be in any more episodes really, except for a Lindsay or a Maybe's episode. Probably.
Yeah. See,
and the other Tobias.
The problem I had with each character getting their own focused episode, right, is that number one, to me, not all the characters are that funny. They can have funny scenes, they can do funny things, but some characters are funnier than others, just by my opinion, right?
Yeah.
And other than that, the characters work best to me when they're together, playing off of each other and doing whatever. And so if you separate them, you don't get that as much. And when you focus on one character, even when it is one of the funnier characters, just all of that type of storytelling or dialogue or things that they're saying wears a little thin on you after a half hour of straight of the same kind of thing.
It's like you're slapping him in the real world instead of against other characters.
Yeah,
you start playing him off of the real world instead of other characters. Slapping sounds a bit dirty.
Yes. I don't know. I guess I took the whole thing as a whole. I didn't just break it down to one episode and went, there was too much Tobias in that episode.
Me either.
But I'm thinking
that's
as
what
a
I
whole
felt
of the series, I just think with all the parts working together, it was all in all a neat narrative structure and a neat story, and it was an enjoyable season.
I get it. Don't get me wrong. The whole opening sequence they used to do was the one son who kept them all together, and then each one was the one son-in-law who kept them all together and stuff like that.
No,
so they meant for
it. I'm sorry, but you can't lead the sentence with "I know what you're talking about" and then
say the wrong thing.
And talk about the.
This is what you're talking about. This is what you're talking about. That they're it's individuals, right?
What? No.
It's a story about them as individuals, broken up from the family.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the reason they did this structure isn't because they wanted to do something different and interesting by breaking up the structure. I thought it was more of a necessity based on getting these people to do the show.
There was that.
They had to try to fit time in, and sometimes they could barely get everyone together at one time, so they had to do them separately. And I think that's unfortunate because that's kind of the feeling I got through this was this could have been better if they were all together, and maybe there's other weird things about it that kind of disappointed me too, and one of them I think is I haven't seen the first 3 seasons in years. I know you guys have seen them more recently than that, and so through those years I have this very fond memory of them, right? And so when you take something away for years, have it come back, and then have it not be as good as you remember it being, you kind of feel a little disappointed.
You gotta take off those rose-colored shades, Brandon.
Yeah, it could be some of that. So, I mean, that's just kind of some of my perspective and maybe why I felt this way. I didn't think that this season was bad. I thought this was it was pretty good. I wasn't like over the moon, like in love with the season. I was just kind of like, there were some, better episodes than others, but I also got an overall feeling of this wasn't as funny as I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? Like, did I laugh? Yes, but did I laugh consistently? Maybe not. And again, you guys watched it all kind of at once. I watched it over the course of a week, and even then, I kind of feel like I rushed it. And I kind of rushed it for the sake of this conversation, but I still get the feeling of maybe I would have liked it more if I wouldn't have felt pressured to watch it. I guess.
Nobody pressured you.
Who pressured you?
I pressured myself through not wanting anything ruined for me, and through wanting to discuss it here today for all of you wonderful people. So.
Wow. That's sad.
So, anyways, other thoughts on the show? Do you want me to keep going? Do we want to talk about the structure anymore?
No, sorry. That last sentence of yours just kind of blew my mind a bit, and I'm just trying to gather my thoughts.
He is Tobias, dude. Listen to him talk.
Biased group. God damn it. I have to read my thoughts.
What are some of the better episodes you remember, or parts, segments?
Tobias's episode.
Which one is first or second episode?
I think it was his first episode.
I think his first episode is probably the best episode of the season.
Because he's like, when he gets like caught by Mark Beard, or whatever Beard it is, yeah.
John Beard?
John Beard, yeah.
John Beard. Yeah.
John Beard's episode.
I'm
just trying to get Daddy, Daddy needs to get his rocks off. That
was the funniest thing, I think. The anus tart, all that stuff, basically was the highlight of that episode.
In the goddamn Portrait de Rosie, was she playing him? Lindsay's episode when they kind of said when they were in the I know I'm describing a scene, but when they're with the
it's all right.
Well, that's what
the real estate agent.
That's what I asked.
With the real estate agent, and they kind of are you ready to move? And he was like, yeah, we'll look out there, and they show the homes, and they show outside, and you're like, what the hell out the window? And it's like, what the hell am I supposed to be looking at?
Yeah, I didn't get it at that point either. I didn't see the license plate. I was looking at the car going,
I thought that's why I like kind of the stuff where they kind of go back to other things.
Yeah, I think there's clever things in the structure. Like, there are clever things that they did.
For like a rewatch almost.
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
I thought
the Andy Richter popping up. As different Richters.
But I really like the Conan O'Brien stuff in the series. Where he
that was only like one episode.
That was funny.
That was entertaining.
But it was still pretty funny. Yeah, I agree. It was good.
Good cameo.
Well, you want to talk about the cameos? There's a lot of cameos.
I don't think Bruckheimer's getting out of the boat for this one.
there's a lot of cameos. So what did we think about the cameos? From Seth Rogen and Kristen Wiig to Ben Stiller. To
I don't like Seth Rogen.
Returning cameos.
I don't like Seth Rogen.
I didn't think Seth Rogen was a good one. I did like Kristen Wiig.
I think Kristen Wiig did a pretty good Jessica Walters impression, whereas Seth Rogen didn't do a very good Jeffrey Tambor impression.
The mustache made no sense. Yeah. It was more or less like, see, it's not Seth Rogen. He has a mustache.
Yeah.
No.
It was making me think if he had actually been in an episode before. But
I preferred the way they did it in the first 3 seasons, where it was just like tinted filter, and it was like them when they were younger. That was
alright, but I did really like what the hell was her name again? We decided we liked her.
Kristen Wiig.
I really liked her.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig was pretty good.
Like the first time they did it was just her before they brought in Seth Rogen. I didn't even know that was supposed to be him at first. I was like, why is Seth Rogen wearing a fake mustache?
Yeah.
Because I was watching, I was like, I can kind of get what she is, and I figured who she was, and then all of a sudden they brought Seth Rogen. I was like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, that's young Lucille. I get this, and then also I'm like, what the fuck is he?
He's like, what the fuck's going on now?
But other than that, I thought that was really neat.
Any other cameos? Ben Stiller. We think Ben Stiller was as good as the Gay Magician.
Tony Wonder.
Wonder.
Does it count as a cameo when they were in it before?
I guess.
Because I mean, he was.
I said a lot of returning cameos too.
Okay.
There's a lot of.
There were quite a few cameos, but I can't remember.
Carl Weathers. Returns.
Carl Weathers.
Not just
returned.
Carl Weathers. There was a cameo in there. I kind of like, holy shit, they got them too.
And that one. Oh.
Terry Crews is in it.
The warden.
Was Terry Crews in it?
Why do I?
Not just the
original
warden.
stuff?
Terry Crews, yeah. I didn't actually remember. They didn't figure Terry Crews would be in it. The warden, yeah, he was.
That was
he
the
in it.
shocker. Terry Crews.
No,
How did they get Terry
one
Crews?
of the shockers. There were several small ones.
One of the shockers.
One of the
The
shockers.
other ones are right here.
But, Terry Crews' character was good. I was actually kind
That
of.
was Terry Crews.
I was actually before they brought. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Before
Herman Cain.
Before they brought up the Buster episode,
I love Terry Crews.
I was
as
kind of
Herman
wondering, like, what the hell is the deal with Buster the whole time? Like, where's he staying? Who's he living with? Because he's not in anyone's storyline. What the hell is he doing? And they
Yeah,
finally
there was a
figured
lot
it out.
of like missing Buster for most of it.
Yeah.
but like it was really weird though.
And that,
I knew we were gonna-
I know he's not a
Buster.
strong character, but
Yeah.
But no, I think that's going to play into whatever they do next. I think a lot of the missing stuff, because there were a lot of unanswered questions by the end of the season. And I think that might play into whatever, if they decide to do the movie, they want to do another season, or whatever. I think a lot of that's playing into whatever they do next. And I think that's where that was heading.
I'm just hoping that they just.
Because there were a lot of storylines that did not get shut.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of loose threads at the end of it.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially the big one. Musical sting. Lucille 2.
Oh yeah.
Who shot Lucille 2?
She
Or
gets
Jane.
shot.
Or whatever
Or
happened.
Mr. Burns.
Or Mr. Burns. It's that sort of thing. It's
Yeah.
it's gonna be the what happened to Lucille 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
That's a question, yeah.
That's probably where they're going, but
And they'll
I don't
probably
know,
have
it's
a lot
just-
of threads.
I thought everyone right from the beginning. I was kind of surprised how quickly it was like this seems familiar. You know, like it wasn't like a getting back into it sort of vibe. Like,
Well-
whoa, everyone seems a little rusty. Everyone kind of got into it pretty good right away. Except for Portia de Rossi looked kind of weird, and I don't
She
know if
looked
that's
weird at first.
it's either,
Well, yeah,
it's either,
that was
it's
because
either
her hair was different.
It's not only
She's
that.
wearing
It's
wigs.
it's either plastic surgery or too much makeup.
No,
one of the two
she's
things.
recovering anorexic.
What is that? What it is?
Yes.
I don't know what it is. Something was weird looking about
Well, no,
it. And so when they would show the Show Stealer Pro Trial Edition footage,
Which
it
apparently-
was really jarring to like go back and forth and be like, almost doesn't look like the same person, but it is.
Honestly, when they actually, I heard they were doing the Arrested Development thing, and I was like, about to watch it, like 2 minutes in. Up until then, I thought what they were gonna do was it was gonna be like years later, Michael just comes back to the family, and this is the shit. I didn't actually expect like each individual character to kind of have a build up from the point of Lucille commandeering the Queen Mary, and then like their individual stories over the years.
See, I like
I
that.
actually like that.
Yeah, no, I like that they did
I
that.
did like that. Because otherwise I'd be questioning the whole time. I was like, what were they doing this entire time? But I did like that point. That was interesting.
No, that was a good choice. Not
Yeah.
to just kind of jump it in 5 years later.
Oh, yeah.
Or not even just to pretend it was
Like-
5 years ago.
Yeah.
I like that they kind of... Because
That's what I
obviously
expect them to do,
some
and
of them
not
have
be-
aged.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Michael Cera... Well, no, I don't think...
Actually, Michael Cera doesn't look that different if you think about it. Maybe this is again rose-colored glasses, but,
But... No, he,
I was
well,
gonna think
but I
of-
mean,
He's taller. He's taller.
sure.
But
okay.
I think it's nice that they did that route and didn't just try to force that as like, oh no, this is still like 5 years ago and stuff like that.
I like how Michael Cera
Something
had,
like different, like
character
Steve
changes.
Holt.
Yeah, so you couldn't do that with Steve
Which
Holt.
they joke about the entire time,
Yeah.
which is it's
Oh,
a good
God damn it, he changed. God damn it. But,
Unfortunate.
I did,
that he got older.
like, honestly, something I was waiting for like, for
Age
most of
is
the
a terrible
season
thing,
was
don't
the Michael Cera episode, like, George Michael, like, what happened with him. And they actually showed that episode, finally, where he developed more as a character. Where, like, I mean, like, it showed he got his independence, and from there he just kind of took it and
I
ran
thought
with
it was almost too much George Michael at the end because they didn't have any of his episodes until close to the end, and then he had 2 of them, and he was even the last one. And so I kind of got the feeling towards
It
the end
wasn't-
of this is a lot of
It was- like,
George
but
Michael.
I agree with you
He's-
there in the sense that they should have did it earlier.
George Michael's
Yeah.
kind of like more or less the main focus of the series as a
Yeah.
whole, though.
It showed
So-
him
Because
I
he's the most, he's like the kid, not, like everyone else has their
I don't
terrible
like-
crushing personality flaws and like everything in their family. George Michael's kind of the one that's like, he's got his issues, but he's
Yeah.
trying to break away and trying to do different.
That's
but
what I like.
Everyone keeps, like it's mostly,
his awkwardness. He's tried to step away from
he's
that.
trying to get out of that,
Yeah.
but Michael always grabs him and he can't get away from his father and that's...
Yeah.
But George Michael's usually, like, mainly been the main focus I mean, Michael's kind of the main character.
Yeah.
Well, George Michael has always been the
Overall,
one where
I always thought of it
he's
as
the one that's supposed to get away and actually do something. Everyone else employs.
Maybe this is again why I wasn't a fan of the structure, which is I always thought of it as the family as the main character, like all of them together.
I did.
And so again, not having them together so much kind of, I don't know, ruined the point of the show.
Yeah, it's
to me
like
a little.
just like
It's weird.
reactions between each other. Like George Michael never. Wait, there was a scene where George Michael was with somebody. He was like, I literally never met him. Was it Parmesan? Gene Parmesan?
Gene! Oh no, he had never met Lucille too.
That was it. Yeah, and they kind of pointed out. I was like,
Which is
like,
funny.
have they not? I was like, no, they haven't.
Yeah, no, I thought that was pretty funny too.
Other than that, I thought like otherwise like the family reacted well off each other. Like George Michael
they've been there before.
did stuff with Gangi, and yeah, it was like
the few times they were together. I guess
yeah,
that's
a
just
few
the disappointment.
times, but they still did. It was
It's just the
entertaining.
disappointment, I guess. Hopefully, this is successful enough where if they do another one.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Like,
Based off,
I
like I
want
said,
more. Don't get me wrong, I want more.
This season,
based off of the amount of bandwidth alone that went up that day was,
This season, like I said, was
successful.
totally different from
The past.
the past three, but it was.
I'm
I think
going-
on its own, it still stood up.
I'm going with because like it's been
I'm-
years. It's been how long? Like
5
years, 5 years. Oh fuck, it feels longer. 5 years later, and they're just continuing.
We didn't
the
watch
series.
it live when it was on Fox, remember, too.
No.
Yeah.
We caught it on G4 when they replayed
I
it.
caught an episode here and there,
Feels
but they kept.
I
moving
watched
the
on
times-
G4 when they replayed
Oh,
it.
well,
Yeah.
I did that. I watched it on Fox, but they kept moving the time slot, and I couldn't keep up, and I stopped paying attention. So that makes me a terrible person.
Yeah.
Plus, you kind of
Yeah,
this
it
is a
was time
series
for
you have to
DVRs.
see it. You have to see it at the start. You have to see every episode
Yeah.
because everything like to
Honestly,
get it as a whole,
to
you
get-
have to
'cause,
watch it.
there are running jokes and there are,
Yeah.
things
And I
that
caught it
go
like
in past
I
things.
caught it like episode 5 is when I started watching, and then I miss an episode, pick it up again, and just
Yeah.
and then they moved it to like Thursdays or some shit
Plus,
like that.
one of the reasons I kind of watched it one after the other is because I recorded on G4, just like
Yeah,
Brian
that's
did.
what I did.
And I had them like kind of like built up in my DVR and just kind of watched them one after
They
the other.
played
I was
so many marathons, I didn't have.
I
I
can't.
didn't do
I
that.
can't just watch this one episode at a time. I gotta watch this in bulk.
See, I was more of a everyday watching the episode or two they played. So again,
it's only half an hour long, and I kind of
sometimes the
want
difference
more.
is in how you watch it, and your thoughts going in can affect what you think about
Part
it.
of
So-
the reason I was kind of thrown by the whole like character by character episodes. In fact, when like they came back, I totally forgot what Netflix did, which is they put the entire season on all at once. I was literally expecting one episode at a time.
Oh,
Until
well,
I
They've been
kind
doing
of
their series.
wish, yeah, that's what they've been doing. But I kind of wish they would have spaced out a little. You don't have to do one episode at a time, but just do like
But
the fourth?
you know, to be fair,
a few or something. You
you
know,
can't blame Netflix.
I know,
for
it's
doing
not their
that, because
fault.
it's ultimately your decision whether you watch
I
it.
know,
or not.
and
they know you're gonna binge on it.
I know it was my.
They-
But you guys watched in like you were
I
in
watched
one
it with
day.
my mom.
You were in like 2 days.
Yeah.
So,
My mom came over that day specifically to spend it with me, cooking me food, celebrating my birthday, and watching Arrested Development.
Okay, so that's why you watched it. in one
Mother's Day.
Why did you watch
Yeah,
it in
and
2 days?
it was
Did you feel the
Mother's Day
need to?
birthday combo.
Did you feel the need to watch it in 2 days, or did you just want to watch it in 2 days? Did you have like
I have a problem where
he needs closure?
Kit can't stop himself. I don't know if you know this about Kit.
I-
Once he gets started on something, he just won't stop.
there's been times
He
like,
might go to
okay,
sleep.
Hey, look,
But he'll
it's
have to
eight-
wake up and keep going.
It's 8 o'clock at night. I'm gonna start watching this show. And it's like, oh, it's so good. Until 9 o'clock, like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like,
So you really liked it then?
I gotta go to work in 2 hours. I should really go to sleep and watch it. I get transfixed by a
That's
show
close,
unless it's
No,
unless the
same
show
way.
is god awful. In which case, like, all right, don't need to watch this anymore because that's just wow. But this show, like, it entranced me enough each episode that I wanted to find out
Like a
what
mystical
I wanted
fairy.
to find out what happened to the
Transy
booths. I really did.
And now you know.
Eh.
I didn't find out, and now I'm really anticipating for the next season because I'm hoping it'll be the family
whatever.
together again.
Yeah, that's my hope.
That's what I want. I want them together again.
Whatever, at least they'll all live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
like every episode.
Once they're all
seems-
sex offenders, then they'll all be in the same place.
Almost
So
every episode ended in the same place. Cinco de Quattro. That's where it all
Well,
ended.
I mean,
Almost.
they were
almost.
trying to make everything lead up to that, but then at the end it was kind of like, oh, here's just another person what they did there,
Yeah.
and that was kind of the disappointment too. Is I thought it was going to lead up to something that happens here where they're all together is going to be a great way to end the series, and then it was kind of
Something
Something-
still segmented, and then that whole who killed or whatever happened.
Whatever
happened to Lucille too.
Some things were obvious, like when you heard like the sound of like a woman scream, you're like that's a woman screaming. Oh, it's an ostrich. It's like, really? Sounds like a woman screaming.
Yeah.
Or like that Swami looks familiar.
I kind of think they overplayed some things too. Like the first time you get the Mr. F thing was funny, but then having it keep popping up was kind of the point.
Did it keep popping up?
That was only that one episode. And
it was a few episodes.
No,
I remember hearing it towards the end.
I
was like, again?
Once.
We're doing this again? Like. It was funny when went on the show originally, but then it was also different people.
Maybe the second time was when he mentioned that like he
Whatever,
dated a retarded woman. And they're like, oh, it's not wrong. Blah blah blah. Don't care. But Mr. F specifically, I remember that for one episode.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Overall, I still enjoyed it. I still laughed a decent amount. I still thought it was interesting enough or cleverly written enough to keep going and to find enjoyment in it. I just wish I would have spaced it out more. So if you get the feeling of, I really wish this wasn't all at once, go ahead and do yourself the favor, I would say, and just space it out yourself.
Go Away, Get Away got stuck in my head for like a week.
Yeah, I got that too. But
it would just happened.
That's my advice. Is if you don't think it'll be good watching all at once, don't. Just space it out if you want to.
Definitely, I'm gonna watch it again. Obviously, I'm gonna space it out
at some point, maybe.
Just now that I got the whole.
I'd like to rewatch the first 3 seasons again too.
We should probably do that.
Yeah.
If you get together with friends and you only get together like once a week, just watch that and you'll enjoy it.
Don't go see new movies and talk about.
Yeah, or don't do anything else.
Don't watch new movies now.
Just get together and watch Arrested Development.
Why not?
Sit around a table and talk about Arrested Development.
Yeah, you can do that once a week.
You watch
once a week.
Yeah, once a week. We do this shit because.
Any other thoughts?
I had no reason to.
Anything else anyone want to bring up?
No.
Arrested Development. That's it.
Tobias.
This was kind of the highlight of the season.
This is the highlight of the season, yeah.
To me, so.
I like how they approached the gay thing.
I think.
It's like the old thing you said it was like, it's an ongoing joke. It's like, really? Like.
Yeah, bringing up to him that he says things that sound gay all the time. But
when's the last time I said something?
Well, you guys told me plenty of times I say really gay things.
Yeah.
But I just continue on with the gay things and the real weird molesting rape things.
This is taking a turn. Kit, did you want to talk about the end and what you thought about it?
Depressing.
Sorry, that's what I was trying to get at. You didn't say it the whole time.
This happened. I was depressed by the end. It just like.
I didn't get that. I didn't get depressed.
Spoilers. You're gonna have to skip this.
Spoilers.
As of now.
No.
5 seconds.
No, you gave spoilers the whole time. This
really?
is spoiler
fine.
zone, man.
Fuck it. Like, hold on a second. Maybe he got arrested for like molesting a child because she was like 23 and the guy was 17.
They had sex, good.
Yeah.
Sorry, not molesting. What is it called?
Sex.
Statutory rape?
Statutory rape. Bam. You didn't give me a real enough answer. Statutory rape. She got arrested. She got arrested for statutory rape.
That was funny.
Fucking George Michael is like pissed at Michael now, and I know what you said before about George Michael, like Michael had sex with George Michael's girlfriend. They had the same girlfriend. They both had sex with him.
She wasn't really dating either of them.
I didn't say dating. I said had sex with.
Yeah,
but they felt that way.
That's more of their problem.
Exactly. I feel bad for that. So I want more of a off the cuff sort of comedy. I don't like, not saying I'm invested in as much as this.
You're what?
I'm invested in the show a bit, like the characters in general.
It's jokes, kid.
It was too serious. Like, and Job having sex with a man on accident.
Whoa, you know what this kind of is? This is kind of turning into our hangover discussions.
It was a bit.
It was a bit dark. Oh, it was a bit gross sometimes, and not funny. This sounds like our hangover discussions, kind of.
I'm sorry, but it was just.
Kit gets really into those characters.
It was really dark towards the end.
No,
I don't think so.
I felt it was.
I don't think so either.
I felt it was because like all the bad things are happening.
Bad things happen to these characters all the time.
Like,
not just at the
horrible
end.
things.
That's kind of the thing of the show.
So like you said, they're all going to be charged with like they're all gonna have to be like
Sex offender.
Megan's Law.
A big part of
Sex
the
offenders.
Sex offenders. They're all gonna have to, for come to Megan's Law, be sex offenders
Megan's Law has nothing
and
to
all
do
move
with this.
into Sudden Valley.
I don't know.
That's sad.
It's a joke, Kit.
I get it.
It's a
but
comedy. It's funny that they're all
it's a
getting-
sad way to
They're
go.
not even like.
I got a sick fucking sense of humor, and like I just think that's sad. I will laugh at the most fucked up
I'm
things,
mad now.
but that is just sad to me.
So when George Senior was in prison for treason, that wasn't sad.
No, that was hilarious.
Or Buster losing his hand.
Buster losing his
Or,
hand. That's funny.
By a seal, that was awesome. But when Buster,
So, okay,
wait,
so if they were thrown in jail by a seal,
when
are they-
Buster with his huge hand was used by fucking like the Old Spice guy's fucking wife. Terry Crews, but when we used by Terry Crews' wife,
I was thinking of
Like,
Mustafa,
that was sad.
Isaiah Mustafa, and that.
because he was actually built himself up as a person a lot more than he'd ever been before, and he like had sex with a woman and everything like that, and then he was just
stuff with the
used.
giant hand was pretty funny.
Yeah, the stuff with the giant hand was funny, but like he was just used at the end of it, and I just kind of felt bad for him.
The thing about the show is
I just felt bad for each of these
cheap
characters.
laughs. The cheap laughs in the show are funnier than the like well thought out.
When
intellectual
Lucille decided she was going to divorce,
I think they are.
Oh, he's still.
when Lucille decided he was
I know,
going to
I'm
divorce,
trying
like divorce George, when Oscar had one-upped George, it just was all just so goddamn.
Did I even get the feeling? And this kind of comes up with when you're talking about the whole Oscar George thing. Did I ever get the feeling that, you know, we said that these guys couldn't come together that often, and sometimes you'd have scenes where, like, one would run into the other, and we'd get a lot of cuts of the back of somebody's head and the front of somebody's head, switched over then to the back of somebody's head and the front of the head? Did you get the feeling that, I don't know if that actor was actually there for that conversation?
No.
I did.
What?
I kind of want to go back and watch it and look at the back of heads, because sometimes their jaw moving wouldn't line up with what they were saying, and there was, like, weird things I got that I was like, I think this is all an illusion. And those two actors aren't really standing there talking to each other. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, you know, towards the end I started really paying attention to this, because I'm weird like that.
Alright.
And there was a conversation between Job and Michael, and I was like, I wonder if that's really, can't think of his name now. If that's really Job, right? And so I'm looking,
Will
and all of a
Arnett.
sudden Will Arnett turns his head a little bit, and I'm like, that was almost like proof that he was there. You know, like, they really were thinking people were going to start wondering if they were
I
really
don't
there.
think I was looking as close as you were then.
It was just a thing I noticed. Maybe it was the way it was shot.
You know,
the way
it could have been
was
shot.
cut,
And when I look at it again, because now I'm thinking maybe they.
Now you're thinking maybe I'm right?
No,
Is there-
not that you're right. Never.
Oh, okay.
But
I don't know.
that I'm thinking that maybe they did that because if you watch Michael's episode of that, it'll be the exact same thing, but his back of the head, like maybe that.
No,
was
they'd
something.
alternate a lot.
Oh, do they alternate?
But I'm saying, I wonder if that person is actually in that conversation at that time when they shot that one
Yeah.
side and then shot the other side differently.
I don't think they did that.
I think they might have.
Nah.
At times. Like I said, at times it's obvious that they were there together. Sometimes I'm questionable on it. So, anyways, hopefully next time it'll be better to me, and we'll see what happens if there is another season movie, whatever
I'm
happens.
pretty sure there will be.
So,
Probably.